Hello. So today I want to show you my latest sketchbook. It's not finished and I will show you at the end how I worked on one of the pages. So here we go. This is another of my handmade, hand-bound sketchbooks. It's very messy on the outside and that is why I usually don't decorate it very well, or I just give it like something that is sturdy and I start working. So for this art journal, I decided that I wanted to make something, to repeat something over and over again. This is the repetition on a theme. This is something that a lot of artists do. And I thought that it would be a great idea for me since it's a great way to experiment on new techniques. Now, what I want to start is to show you, I made this sketchbook on March 19, 2022, and I started it on February, I'm sorry, I can't say that month, February 8, 2024, so this year. And this is the image I decided to work on. These two tigers or big cats. And I've been using this, a couple of them. I have them traced and I can use them. So this one was the first. And it was a negative space painting where I had a very busy background and then I used black, but I didn't like that, so I used white. And after I used white, I used my fine liner to create all of these markings. And I wanted to have like a sentence or a phrase that I could also use to have some text. So I decided on just follow me, just follow me. So this is also like conceptually, it's like a symbol for cycles, and that everything that starts ends and then starts again. This is something that it's not with the theme that I decided, but this is my sketchbook, so I feel I can do anything I want. So this is a tree that I also use some negative painting, and then negative space painting, and then I use some collage. All these leaves are collage. I'm not entirely happy with this, but that is what my sketchbook is for trying things out. Now this is I really love this page, and this is with acrylic paint and colored pencil. For this page, I have like a color palette that I was trying out here using some really watered down acrylic paint. And on this page, I have my two tigers with a lot of colors. So this was also a negative space painting page. And instead of using white or black, I used this really vibrant neon pink, fluorescent yellow, fluorescent yellow. And it's too much and I love it. Now this is collage and I used deli paper that I painted using fluorescent orange. And again, it's so much color, so much vibrancy. And here we have gold. This page is too much and I love it for it because I want to experiment. I want to see what happens when things become too much. Now these are some experiments using blues, and I think I mixed them with something. I really don't know because I didn't wrote it down, but that's something I did. Here, I think I was cleaning my brush and I decided to paint a little owl, and this is what came out, and it's cute. Now again, my tigers. Now these are pretty simple. I think I've painted over this page a couple of times. I think if you see a video I did recently, maybe you can see that this page has changed. And the thing is, if I don't like something, like really don't like it, I will go over it later in time. Sometimes I leave pages that I don't like because I like an idea or the concept, but in this case, this page never worked. So I painted over it and I created this teal and pink tiger. Now this is a cat that I did using some of the paper that I used to protect my painting table. This is my painting table. It's really messy. I'm very messy. I cleaned the excess of paint of my brush here, and well, I use it later because it has the colors that I like, because they are the colors that I use, and it's full of random marks and colors, and it's perfect for collage. And this is I was using, if I'm not mistaken, Derwent ink pens. They're like ink, and then you can activate it using some water. So I wanted to create a little city, and then after I created it, I thought, maybe a cat would go great in there, and here it is. Now I really like this page, and I think this also has had some changes. Maybe this was another color. It seemed like it was another color. I don't think this was negative space painting. I think I painted the background first, and then I painted the cats. And this is why I have these guys right here, because this is not this one. Maybe this, or some that were a little bit bigger, but I trace them. I have my page, I trace them, and there's no problem in tracing things. I mean, that's a technique that has been used forever and ever. So I trace them. And that's not the point of all these experiments. It's not to get these animals right. It's to experiment while already having a theme. Now I painted here, and these are collage, and then I stick them down and glue them down and add some paint just to have something. I don't particularly love this color, but there it is. And these, I think I used this to create this to trace them, and now they're traced. And this is the back of the paper. So what I did, I painted outside of the tigers using acrylic. Mostly that's the media that I use. I love working with acrylics. Now this is for a lesson, for my taster lesson for Kaleidoscope, that is actually now, when I'm recording this video, it's next week, if I'm not mistaken. I will put the dates somewhere in the screen. And these are the colors that I use, and I use my sketchbook to come up with classes and with paintings that I sometimes make on different substrates, like a canvas or something like that. So I first try things out here, and I was trying to understand how colors work. So I love making this, and I make them a lot because it's like creating something without having the pressure of having something done at the end. So just playing with colors for me, it's very satisfying and very relaxing. And I ended up creating a little image of what I would like to create, but that's not it. Now I have some cats. I studied a little study using, now this is gouache, this is new. This is not something that I tend to use. These are new, so I want them to try them out. And on top, all these lines, I think this is Stabilo All pencil. I heard this phrase and I really loved it. So I wrote it down. And I think this was Helen Wells talking about her sketchbook. And she said that her sketchbook was a mirror of dreams. And yes, absolutely yes. I will put her YouTube channel below so you can see her work and what she does. I love it. Now some cat faces, collaged cat faces, and this one is really wild and using a lot of color and a lot of acrylic paint, and it's an experiment. I really like it, how it came out. Now this was using like it's not a stamp. I was using these guys that are right here that are now glued down. I used them as a resist, and using a sponge I went around and created this background. So that is using a mask. I use these guys as masks. And then when I finished doing this, I used the cutout and added some details to this page. This is also for a class, and I'm making color swatches. It seems that is a theme of all my sketchbooks. I make a lot of color swatches. Now this is self-portrait, and these are kind of self-portraits, but not really. This is the more realistic one without it being realistic at all. Now this is when I bought my acrylic washes. I don't know how to say it. And I don't work chronologically, not too much. I'm looking for a page that I like because all of them are different kinds of paper. So I go through and see what will work, and here I swatch my new acrylic washes. And I try them using water with them, a lot of water, to see how they would bleed into each other, and it's really beautiful. This is made with gouache, and first I created one of these pages that I love, where I just recreate the same shape over and over, and then created a negative space painting. And here are the cats, big cats. This is my cat. This is Munai, which means love in Quechua, an ancient Incan language, and it means love, Munai. This is made with some of my new acrylic gouache, and I used color pencil on top. That's something that I wanted to try out, because whenever I want to work with color pencil on top of acrylic paint, I usually need to add a coat of clear gesso, because the color pencil won't stick very well to the acrylic paint. So it worked perfectly, and I really liked it. And this is like the more traditional colors of these big cats, and I actually want to try different things, not be like a realistic color theme. This is me trying out some faces, It's not something that I work on a lot, that I don't use a lot, but I kind of like painting them. And I left this page because maybe at some point I want to have this somewhere in my wall, so I don't want to use that page. More collage, and this is again from one of these papers. This was without using any, just this reference. I used a brush and created the outline. And it's not perfect, but I wanted to try something that was just line. Now another cat, totally different, and some very expressive and colorful flowers. And I want to show you, when I finish with this little walkthrough, I want to show you how I created this. And this is silver leaf, and it's really, really shiny. And I love using silver leaf and gold leaf. I'm not good at it. It's not perfectly there, but I really enjoy doing it. Now this is waiting for something. And this is another tiger. I think you can see. I paint a lot of animals, especially birds and big cats, especially our owls and tigers. And this is a little bit inspired by a lesson that I made for Lifebook 2024. And I love this, using this really watered down acrylics to create this translucency and make the colors interact with each other. And I think that's it. This is where my sketchbook is right now. And these are all the different types of papers and textures. And now I'm going to show you how I created this page. I'm working on this page that had already a lot of marks in it, and I think I made those marks while working on my other sketchbook, and I cleaned my brush here. So there's no waste of paint, and it's the start of a new page. And I'm painting with glue. This is a specific glue that it's made for foil, and it's tacky when it dries, so the foil, the gold leaf or silver leaf or whatever color you choose to use, it sticks to that glue. And I'm drying it so things go along quicker. And I have my gold leaf, in this case it's silver leaf, on the side, and I put it on, and using a soft brush I brush it to get it to really stick down to the glue. And you can find this gold foil or silver foil. There are lots of color. You can find them on any art store, art supply store, or even Amazon. You can find them there. And now that everything is stuck down to the glue, using the same brush, I'm pulling out, I'm brushing off the excess of leaf or foil. I think I use those words interchangeably. I think they're the same. I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. I think they're the same. So I'm cleaning everything with the brush. And I tend to keep these little pieces of leaf because I can use them in another project. But there's a lot of residue, and I try not to waste it. Now I try to get the edges of my image really neat. So I do use a little bit more force. You don't have to force this at all, but I do force it a little bit on the edges. And now I'm using a little damp paper towel to clean the excess of the lines that I had. Those lines were made with a water-soluble wax crayon, so it's pretty easy to clean it off later. And the foil, the leaf is now done, and using this eraser I'm going over some places where that line I didn't get it all, so I can erase it using an eraser. And I always have a brush, a hardware brush nearby, because it's the perfect way to clean up my table and my paper and anything that, instead of using my hand, because that can leave some residues and it's not great. Now I wanted to add something else to this background, and I decided to go with some color pencils and add lines and add flowers or flower-like shapes. And this is using color pencils, and because this acrylic paint was really watered down, I could use my color pencils. Otherwise, I would have needed some clear gesso to get the pencils to work on top of the acrylic paint. And that's it. It was a really easy page to make, especially because I already have the background. I added the foil, some details, and that's it. I hope I will see you in the Kaleidoscope free taster session. You can find all the info to register in the description of this video. I have a free lesson there. There is also a lot of gifts and more free lessons, so I really hope to see you there. And I also hope you enjoyed my walkthrough of this not yet finished sketchbook, and that you enjoyed seeing me finish a page. So I will see you in the taster session. Bye!